In Ukraine, there is renewed talk of creating a humanitarian corridor yet again that would allow safe passage for civilians trapped in Mariupol starting today. Most previous attempts have failed. It comes as officials have found a second mass grave outside the besieged southern port city. Satellite images reveal a hole that appears to have space for at least 1,000 bodies. Last night, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned that Russia has its sights set on far more countries than just Ukraine. Chris Livesay is following developments from the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. Russian troops in Mariupol are once again bombing and trying to storm the steel mill, protecting 1,000 civilians and a group of soldiers, Ukraine says. This after Vladimir Putin himself ordered his troops to stop in what now appears to have been a cynical bluff.
A once thriving city, now robbed of life, save for the bleak salvation of a steel mill. Soldiers and civilians have been hiding underground from the hell above for nearly 2 months. We want to go home. We want to see the sun, says this little girl. For Russia, this is called victory, a horrific sign of what may come in eastern Ukraine, now at the center of Vladimir Putin's war. But his recent defeats in and around Kyiv expose unresolved weaknesses, starting with Russia's armored vehicles.
You can see some large holes.
Yeah, those are huge.
Ukrainian military expert Yuri Zbanatsky walks me through a graveyard of Russian tanks in the city of Bucha.
It's not a good military leadership if you're losing so many men and so much equipment.
To date, Ukraine says Russia has lost close to 3,000 armored vehicles, but only half in combat. As for the other half, they were abandoned or ran out of fuel, and it's finders keepers for these farmers.
Their personnel is not properly trained. Their commanding officers are not able to plan their offensive operations.
Russia may have one of the world's biggest militaries, but quantity doesn't equal quality, says Russian propaganda expert Marco Suprun, who shows me a telephone from a captured Russian tank.
Seriously?
I mean, it looks like it came out of a museum.
This is a country that has nuclear weapons? This is comedy gold for somebody. How is this a symbol of power?
Russia's power is now being tested in the eastern Donbas region. Gone is the urban environment around Kyiv that gave Ukraine's fighters defensive shelter. Now it's open terrain and long-range artillery, including dozens of howitzers Ukraine is now getting from the U.S. Dana?
Chris, haunting words from earlier in that piece, that young girl saying that she just wants to see the sun. Thank you very much.